time for the one and the only show. It's the Luke Howard Show, and guess what? It's live! Thank you very much. Thank you. Morning. Hello. We are live from 10 till 10:45, Monday to Friday. Hope you're all well and hope you're looking forward to the show today. Got a great show lined up today. Lots of stuff to get through, as always, because we've always got lots to get through on this show. We've always got a lot to get through on Britain's brightest, best radio show. So coming up on today, then, we're going to be talking about news, including COVID-19. We're going to continue talking about that, which also includes news, I think, about to do with schools, because we all know that they all go back from September. They are saying they're all going to go back, so we're going to talk about a lot about that story. Easter come in a little while in the show. We're also going to be talking about a hurricane which has struck in North Carolina, which is in America, so we'll talk about that on the show today. So sit back, relax, make yourselves a cuppa if you're making yourselves some breakfast or whatever you're doing. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So if you are going to eat it while you're listening to the show, do get in touch and let us know. 07593 847 105 is the number to get in touch with Britain's best radio show today. If you'd like to get in touch with us via that, just text the word talk and your name and where you are from, or call that number and we shall get straight back to you. Or you can find us on Instagram, which is at the Luke Howard fan page, or you can just put a message on there and we'll get back to you. Or you can find us on email. It's garyjhoward68@hotmail.com, or there's another email, that's my agent's email, by the way, or there's my personal email, okay, my personal one, which is 345-457@student.hrc.ac.uk, or you can, that's my personal one, by the way, I will get back to you on that, or you can use the hashtags on Instagram. It's at the Luke, it's hashtag Luke Howard, I believe, hashtag Luke Howard Show, or hashtag stay at home and listen to the Luke Howard Show. So get in touch with us, because I'd love to hear from you, and let us know what you're up to. Are you sitting back having a cup of tea? Are you outside? Have you even got us with your doors open? Would love to hear from you. Or there's another way how you can also get in touch with Britain's best radio show, and that's by just going underneath where the show is broadcasted on here now. Just go underneath and then just put your message and let us know who you are, and then I shall get straight back to you on that and say that you got a mention on Britain's best radio show. So listen, because I'm here all the way around until 10:45 today and all this week. Of course, I'm here every single week. I'm here every week because, of course, I am keeping you company at these very strange times, and I'm sure everyone knows that as well. It is very strange times. Everyone knows that. The show's usually on every Saturday from 10 till 10:45. So I thought to myself, well, why don't I do this show weekdays then? Make it every day, and it gives me something to do as well, which is amazing. And I know what I'm talking about, because I know everything about what's going on at the moment. I know everything. I'm Luke Howard, the one and the only, and everyone knows that I know everything. Okay, everyone knows that. I'm sure you all know as well. I mean, everyone knows that. So yeah, so it'd be great. I've got my anti-bac in my hand here, so I'm all, I've got my desk, got my tea, got everything. All I just need now is listeners, and to listen to Britain's best radio show today. Right, so let's talk about this story that I was going to talk about to you earlier on, but I actually got carried away, because I always get carried away on this show, don't I? Everyone knows that I do get carried away on Britain's best radio show, because I do get carried away on this show, and I'm sure a lot of my regular listeners know that I don't shut up for the first 15 minutes of this show, because everyone knows that I don't close my mouth. I keep talking for about 20 minutes for the first part of this show, because I have got loads to say on this first story that we are talking about. And I know what you're saying, Luke, get on with it. Yes, I am going to get on with it. But first, I just want to do a very special mention to a very close friend of mine, Jake Shropshire. He owns Jonathan Hunt right here in Buntingford, in the town. So it's his 50th birthday today, and I know it's his 50th birthday because Vernon, a great friend of mine, told me this the other day. So happy 50th birthday, Jake. Hope it goes really well. And if I do see you later on, I'll pop in and say hello and say happy birthday to you. So happy 50th birthday to the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Jake Shropshire. Have you got a round of applause for him? Let's do a round of applause. There you go. Woo! Yes, Jake, that was for you, Jake Shropshire, whose 50th birthday is today. So enjoy. Don't drink too much, please. Don't get too, hammered. But just enjoy it as much as you can in a safe way as well. Right, so let's finally get to this story now. Right, so testing and tracing key to schools is returning, and scientists have said a lot, because current testing and contact tracing is actually encouraged to prevent a second wave, this is of COVID-19, after schools in the UK are to reopen. I mean, we know that schools in Scotland are going to be reopening from the 11th of August. Now, I didn't know this till the other day, that they're going to be reopening till this date, because I didn't actually know that Scotland go back to school in August. I mean, it's a funny time to go back for us, because for us, autumn starts in September, but for Scotland, autumn starts mid-August, which sounds very strange, because I usually have my holiday in mid-August. Now, increased transmission, this was actually a result from parents not having to stay at home with their children, okay? And researchers have said that getting people back to school was actually important, but more work was needed. This is to keep the virus in check, okay? It was to keep it in check. Now, the government has said plans that were in place to ensure schools that can reopen safely the start of new school academic year, which actually starts in September for us and August in Scotland, okay? Now, asked about the estimate that only 50% of contacts are being traced in an interview, this is actually with a news programme, okay? Now, Simon Clarke, Minister for the Regional Growth, he said that government figures were higher. He said that NHS test and trace is maturing all the time, and getting children back to school in the autumn is a top priority that the government would not be willing to trade. He said your building is entirely new in structure with which there's no precedent for this. And he also said that we've got confident, and if it's working, we're all confident that it will continue to improve, that we're confident that it will allow schools to open safely in September next month, okay, which is really about a month away from today. I mean, the 4th of September is a month from today. I mean, we'll still be on, obviously. Our show's gone forever and ever, so we will talk about schools in September, obviously. But I just want to cover a little bit about that on today's show, because I know we're going to be talking about schools nearer the time, but I do want to talk a tiny little bit about schools today, because researchers from the UCL, the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, used computer models to see how the virus might spread in the UK as pupils returned to the classroom and their parents are more able to go back to work or resume other activities. Because the thing is, if they're still going to be off in September, I mean, that's longer, right? I mean, what are they all doing? I mean, September, what are they all going to do? It's hard, isn't it? It's hard if they're all going to be off, because, I mean, I've got a photo here of a young child working from home. I mean, I can see how they do it, but I mean, the parents have to get time off work, and it's very hard. I mean, very hard. But a study has assumed that children are less likely to catch and therefore spread COVID-19 coronavirus. And they said that some parents would continue to work from home. First reported back in June that the combined effect on... I mean, some schools did go back, but now they're off, obviously, because it's the summer holidays. The combined effect on pupils and parents would be enough, okay, to cause a second wave if there was no effective test and trace programme. This would happen around December 2020, which is Christmas time, and would be... Whenever I think of December, I always think of Christmas. That is what I always think of December. I don't know why. Well, you know why, because Christmas is, of course, in December. It would also be twice as big as the first peak unless the government took other actions, such as, I believe it's a reimposing lockdown. The study now formally published in the Lancet Child and Obstetric Health shows a second wave that could be prevented if both 75% of people with COVID symptoms were found and 68% of their contacts were traced, or it could be both 87% of people with symptoms were found and 40% of their contacts were traced. However, the research said that NHS Trust and Trace in England was currently falling short. Now, they estimate, though, that only 50% of contacts are being traced, though, and I know this anyway, and while it is harder to know that the percentage of people have been tested, and there is also appears too low. I mean, up north, they've got a lot of places in Northampton, I know Northampton, Leicester, and all the places up north that have got it the worst, they've all got a load of tents up, like testing centres, where they can go and get tested. I mean, I know it takes an hour and a half to see if you have been tested for COVID-19 or not, because I know it does, because I looked it up the other day, and they even said on the news programme the other day. So it is not achieving the levels that they have modelled, and it doesn't look good enough to me, he said. This is Professor Chris Bonnell from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Now, Dr Jasmina Pavloric-Griffiths from the UCL, she added, with UK schools reopening fully in September, I mean, every single child has got to go back to school in September, because if they take time off from September, and I know if they take time off from September, then they will get a very, very big fine. And I know this for a fact. I know if any child takes time off in September, if they're ill or not, then, and if they're just skiving off, they will still get a very big fine from September, and I know this. And we are going to cover schools in September, of course, when they go back. We will be talking about that on this very show. But we are talking about it now, but then we will talk more about it at the end of this month, beginning of September, of course. Now, okay, so it's combined with tracing of 68% of their contacts and isolation. This is actually of symptomatic and diagnosed cases. Now, they say how test and trace is actually going to work, because people with symptoms of cough, fever, or less of sense of smell or taste are tested, of course. If they are positive for coronavirus, they isolate, for 10 days, and their household does so for 14 days as well. All the people in your household, if you have got it, and if you've got people in your household, you all got to self-isolate from 10 to 14 days. Okay, so if you are listening, I did mention this on the show yesterday. Okay, if you are listening and you have got symptoms of COVID-19, and I say this every single day, get a test. Get a test. There are testing centres out there. And your doctor's surgery will also do it as well. So you can get in touch with your GP, but I know they won't say very much, or go to a local test centre. I mean, there are loads of test centres. I know there's not any test centres near me, but if there is a test centre near you, get a test. Get a test. Or listen to Boris Johnson's thing. He said, hands, face, space. Listen to Boris. You've got to wash your hands, wear your face mask, and space, of course, as well. You've got to make some space for wherever you are. Hands, face, space. I'm going to do it with my drama now. Hands, face, space. Okay, I just did it with sign language sort of way there. With sign language. I can do sign language for it. Hands, face, space. You can't really see what I'm doing right now, but I've got a mirror right in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. But, yeah, you can't see me, people out there, what I'm doing. Hands, face, space. But I maybe will do it on one of my adverts later on today. I might say, remember, hands, face, space, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. Now, they are positive for coronavirus. They isolate for those days, and they have to inform the National Health Service. You've got to inform the National Health Service, okay? You've got to inform them if you have got it. Let them know. They will help you and they will guide you. But there's not very much you can do. Just self-isolate. Wash your hands, Wear your face mask if you're going out into a shop. I mean, I went to a garden centre yesterday because everyone was wearing one. But you see, I haven't got to wear one because I'm special. I've got a disability, so I don't have to wear one. Woo, woo, woo. So I was really the only one who wasn't wearing one in this place. But I'm sure everyone sort of knew that I wasn't really allowed to wear one. Because my nan even helped me out. I went out with my nan yesterday and she said, Luke, don't worry, you haven't got to wear one. I was actually quite panicking about it, really. But nan said to me, Luke, don't worry, you haven't got to wear one. So that was fine. And nan would have told him anyway. Now, the UK schools, like my college, I left on the 20th of March, but accepted children of key workers or vulnerable children. Now, on the 1st of June, which is literally around about 2 months ago, from Saturday, they began a limited reopening for early years. This is pupils from reception, year 1, and the last year, which is year 6. Schools are due to restart for all children in Scotland on the 11th of August. I said that, didn't I? I said that. And across the UK in early September. Now, I don't go back to college to the 8th of September. Yes, the 8th of September, which is a hell of a way for me still yet. A lot of them go beginning of September, but I don't go to the 8th. So, but they're saying you've got to go, and if you take time off, then